The Gwaltney Group.
The following is a sponsored program paid for by Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group. RE/MAX results. Welcome to Rochester Real Estate, featuring Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results and Andy Brownell. Here's Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk, 1340 KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Good morning. It's Saturday again. I'm Andy Brownell, and of course, we're with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Another weekend is upon us. How are you doing?
Doing great. Working hard.
Yeah.
Last night, I'll be working all day today. But you know what? It's just easier to work when the weather is nice. People say, oh my gosh, it's hard to go to work when it's so nice out. I find it just the opposite because it's easy to jump in and out of the car, buzz around the yard, look at the outsides of homes. When it's nice outside, I just get energized by the warm weather and the sunshine. Yesterday, I loved it.
Yes, I'm with you. It just generally uplifts your mood.
Correct. Correct. And, this is the thing. How many times do people say to me, and I know I've said this before on this show, why do you work so hard? Why do you work so much? First of all, I hate this part. You're old enough to retire. I'll be old enough to retire. Thank you very much. But, I guess if you're going by, chronological age, I do have people my age, friends from high school, from college that are retiring, but it's not in the cards for me because I love what I do. And I think, what would I do if I retired? I just enjoy it so much, right? And it comes natural. But if I were going to retire, I guess I'm lucky that I live where I live because did you see the article that Fox 9 had put out on Friday?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, Minnesota City named among the best places to retire by Forbes. So the southern Minnesota City was named one of the 25 best places to retire in 2024 by the Forbes magazine. And Rochester actually made the list. And
wow.
We were I'll read the whole list. Apparently, never mind. It says no particular ranking. So Athens, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Charlotte, North Carolina, Columbia, Missouri, Dorado, Puerto Rico. Wow, going a ways. Greenville, South Carolina, Iowa City, Iowa, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Lawrence, Kansas. Boy, I think Scott would agree with that one for sure. He could go watch the Jayhawks games, right? Lexington, Kentucky, Lincoln, Nebraska, New Braunfels, Texas, Pensacola, Florida, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Roanoke, Virginia, Rochester, Minnesota, Savannah, Georgia, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Spokane, Washington, Tucson, Arizona, Virginia Beach, Virginia, and Yuma, Arizona. So those are the 25 supposedly best places to retire. So for those of you who aren't crazy like me and can't even imagine retiring, I guess there's some ideas for you.
Well, I wonder what they have in common.
Well, I don't know if they have things in common or not, but it says that Rochester was described as the proud home of famed Mayo Clinic and a population of 124,000 people, 85 miles southeast of Minneapolis, with a median home price of $320,000, which is 19% below the national median.
Wow.
With the cost of living 6% below the national average. The pros, outstanding ratio of primary care doctors per capita. Boy, we know
yes.
that. Good air quality, low serious crime rate, very bikeable, relatively low vulnerability to natural disasters. The cons might be the cold winters and not very walkable. Well, yes, it is. Difficult retiree tax climate, state taxes.
Yeah.
Security as part of a progressive tax state. But all right, so I'm sure those are the kind of things like affordability, crime rates, those kind of things are what they would look at.
And the fact that you can't throw a stick without hitting a doctor.
Yeah, I used to love that when my kids were in youth sports. I always felt so good. You'll see those crazy incidents that happen on the news where a kid will drop over, or something bad happens. And I just thought, well, heck, everybody in the stands is pretty much medical. So we're pretty.
Exactly. My kid dislocated his shoulder during a baseball game, and not a serious injury, but an injury. There were 3 docs there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right away.
Yeah, they're just
we had better care on the field than we did when we got.
Oh boy.
But I know of people, friends of mine, who have actually moved to the traditional retirement states that you think of, Florida, Arizona.
Yeah.
And they have come back.
Mm-hmm.
They said, you know what,
too many people is what I hear a lot.
Well, that was part of it, but also part of it was they felt vulnerable because they had lived so long in the shadow of Mayo Clinic, not having that so close to you and having access to, the best health care in the entire world.
Right.
That was very desirable for them to return home as they, got older, that they would need to access that care. And when they went to particularly Florida, they were not impressed with the health care.
I can promise you I have sold many, many a townhome to people that you just described. They left Rochester in their 60s. They stayed away for 10 or 15 years, and now they're coming back to be closer to Mother Mayo.
And they found out Mayo's a little bit different than it was 10 to 15 years ago, as far as your ability to get in.
Yeah, right? Well, isn't it great, though, that we have, the Northeast and Northwest, those kind of options?
Oh, yeah.
It's so nice to go to those and just pull in and park. And, yeah. I mean, no one has to convince either Andy or Robin that Rochester, Minnesota is a great place to live and work and, do life, because we both know that. It is amazing. And I probably won't ever move away. I mean, I might spend a little more time away in the winter, but not for months at a time, ever. That is.
I always said if I won the Powerball, I'd still have the house here.
Yeah.
But absolutely. I might have a house someplace else too.
Yeah, and we've even considered buying a house in Arizona, and it's so easy with all the vacation rental properties that are out there. It is so easy to just pick one and rent it if you want to rent it for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. And then the next time you go, you can go someplace else. You're not tied to go back to the same place. But the big thing is you're not paying the insurance and paying the taxes and, all of those things. And boy, homeowners insurance, talk about something that's been a thorn. Oh. Our side as realtors is when you're working these numbers for people, what the monthly payment's going to be, et cetera. It is crazy when you see how much homeowners insurance has gone up, big time gone up.
I know. Well, I pay the bill. It's no longer packaged into a monthly payment for me. I write that check every year, and it's gone up considerably.
I've heard some people say that theirs has gone up as much as 35%.
Oh my, yeah, absolutely. And I was told it's the last few summers we have been nailed by these hailstorms.
Yeah.
And that's really, you and I've talked about that before.
Yeah. Well, and I don't even think it's just our own storms here. I mean, come on.
Sure.
These insurance companies insure across the country, right? So if there's tornadoes or hurricanes or forest fires or anything that ends up costing the insurance company money, I think we all feel the trickle-down effect. But
yeah, and the losses from these storms have gone up. Think about vehicles. You used to have a car get hit by hail.
Yeah, exactly.
And it would be, a couple $1,000s to hammer out the dents and maybe touch up the paint. Now, you put a paint job on one of these newer vehicles, it's going to be $20,000.
Yep.
Yikes.
So, yeah, it's crazy. But, things are going up. But that being said, we were just noted as one of the best places to retire based on our cost of living and our median home prices. And I have another article to follow right behind it that came from Yahoo Finance talking about, you want to take a break?
I do.
All right, you're in charge here, believe it or not.
It's the perfect time, right before you start the article. So.
Okay.
All right, we're back in just a second with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX results. It's News Talk 1340, KROC AM at 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96. To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
Welcome back, everyone. We're with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results, and I apologize. I had to interrupt you, Robin, but you have another article you want to talk about.
Well, I just want to talk about this article that was in Yahoo Finance, and it talks about the most affordable regions in the U.S. to buy a home right now. And you can imagine that the most affordable region is the Midwest. So, and not just Minnesota, the entire Midwest. What happens when, they start posting it all over the place that you're getting the biggest bang for your buck in the Midwest? Well, of course, people start to come, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they don't come all the way to Minnesota because we are a little bit colder than Missouri or maybe Illinois or Ohio, maybe. I don't know. Some places, I guess.
Well, I think we're considerably colder than those places.
Are we, though? Not Illinois. I mean, depending on where you are in Illinois. Like,
well, I guess I'm thinking of it in good terms because...
Yeah. Yeah, we love you, but don't move here. We have plenty. Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of people moving here, clearly, with the Mayo's expansion and all the people that will be hired. So it's nice to see that people are attracted to move to the Midwest. So that'll be good for the clinic, right? When they're trying to recruit and hire people. So we have to look at the positive side of it. But when you ask about how much affordability are we really talking about? One of the studies says that in the Midwest right now, it's the only region in the U.S. where you are actually paying less than 25 or even 20% of your paycheck for your monthly mortgage payment.
That's amazing.
Everywhere else in the U.S., whether you're in the West or the South, you're still paying more than 20% of what you're earning on your home cost.
Actually, I find that incredible because I would have thought with the increase in prices over the last 4 years that a lot of people are above 30%. But then again, there are people like me who don't have a mortgage anymore.
Right.
Or
exactly.
It's next to nothing other than taxes and insurance.
Right. Well, and then there are also people that, like if they're buying, we've talked about this a lot, they get so much equity when they sell the home that they owned for the last whatever many years that they're putting more down, therefore borrowing less, and so therefore keeping those mortgage payments down, even though, yes, the interest rates are higher than they were for a few years there. Oh, speaking of interest rates, we did receive an email yesterday from some of the lenders we do business with that the rates dropped. So there was some pretty good, let me see if I can pull up the email. There were some pretty good rates. And I was like, okay, this is great news. It's always great news when they go down. But then what that also means to any buyers that are out there listening is that there will be more people, definitely more people, coming into the market, because whenever the rates do drop, that is exactly what we see.
And competing for the same number of homes.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Let's see here. Of course, I can't find it when I'm looking for it, but it was good news. And so, and there were things like, well, there are a lot of things that I do talk about sometimes, but don't go into great detail because it's things that you really should talk to lenders about. But there's some great loan opportunities in Minnesota for first-time home buyers or Minnesota housing loans that, require certain income, certain credit score, those kind of things, but with down payment assistance. And I know that there are some people that get quite a bit of down payment assistance, like I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's a lot of times a grant that you don't even have to pay back.
Right.
So, yeah. All right.
It's almost like the college scholarship thing. There's all these specialized programs set up to benefit certain populations that people are completely unaware of.
Okay, so this is from yesterday. Great news. Mortgage rates are on the move, and I wanted to make sure you're all in the loop with the latest updates. As of today, rates are showing signs of improvement, which could be a game changer. Yeah, that's for sure. So then you come down here, and they're showing options. If you want to pay 1 point at closing, a 30-year conforming fixed rate could be as low as 6.375. FHA is low as 5.75,
wow.
VA 5.75, USDA 5.875, and a jumbo, which is usually quite a bit more, 6.875. Now that's paying a point. So now let's come over and saying not paying anything. Nope, not buying it down. Now, goes from 6.37 to 6.87 for a 30-year fixed conforming, but that's still below 7%. And the FHA and VA are 5.99 with no points, so below.
Okay.
6%. So, I mean, they're headed in the right direction. This is absolutely great news. So, yay.
So, I was, how do you work through that equation with a buyer that they have, let's say they have that equity? When is it smarter to buy down the mortgage, buy the point, or put it towards the down payment?
Exactly. And so this is why it is I'm so glad you asked that question, because this is why it's so important that you work with a lender. Well, a lot of times it's the lending institution itself that has different products to offer. Sometimes you can have the best lender, and if they're at a lending institution that's limited with what products they have, well, then you're not going to have as many options. But as seasoned agents, we know, I can speak for myself and myself only, but there are a lot of other seasoned agents who are very familiar with which institutions offer which products and which lenders at those institutions are the pros to work with and know. I love it when especially a new buyer, but when any one of my buyers can sit down with the lender, but I love it when a new buyer can sit down with the lender and be given options. You can either do this or do that or do this or do that. And this is what this looks like and this is what that looks like. And they just walk them through it. And it takes so much stress away from the buyer and gives them so much clarity and just really, it makes them so much more excited about the whole process. So that is a really, really important part of this home buying process. And that is why one of the very first things that I personally ever do when I'm working with a buyer is ask, are you already working with a lender? And if so, who is it? And if it's, something online, I say, okay, let's first of all get you in front of a local lender for a couple of reasons. One is if we're competing in multiple offers, I promise you, one of the things that listing agent is looking at is who approved them. Was it just some online thing where they just asked a few questions and said, "Ooh, here's your letter, you're approved," or is it somebody that actually knows this is what we need from you, we got it from you, and this loan is absolutely going to close and there's going to be no issues whatsoever. So,
and you have told me that's so important when you're competing with offers, right? Because the seller's agent will look at this and go, I know this person. We're all good.
Oh, yeah. If this person approves this person, if lender A says buyer A is qualified and will close, I absolutely trust them. So, it's really important.
Is it the younger set that is more often bringing forward the online approval letter because that's just the way they're used to doing everything?
Sometimes that people get hooked because they see these sort of like, we have the lowest interest rates, we have fewer costs, and they'll maybe sell them with we're not paying for a building and we're not doing this and that and the other thing. Well, they're there might be fewer costs, but then there's going to be a higher interest rate. It's really important to know what every single line item is to be able to decide which is the better way to go. But I'm just telling you the credibility that comes with working with somebody local, and especially somebody that is very reputable.
Well, I like that. I like the idea that I'm meeting actually with this person, and then my questions won't be submitted through some chat box or whatever. I can talk to them, and they can explain this to me. Every piece of this little puzzle that we're putting together.
And it's not even just in the process of the loan. It's like forever and ever. And a lot of the particular lenders that we work with actually don't even sell their loans on the secondary market.
Right.
They do a lot of in-house stuff. So at any point you can call and say, hey, so-and-so, I saw that the rates dropped a little bit. Does it make sense for me to refinance yet? What does that look like? What is the cost? It's just so great to have that relationship. But you know me, I am a total relationship-based person, whether it's with the person who cuts my hair or the person who gives me loans or the person who sells me insurance. It's really important for me to build a relationship and trust with that person so that I have that relationship for the rest of my time that I'm going to be doing those things. And I'm so happy that I have that same relationship with, literally hundreds of my clients. And it feels good to know that if a real estate question comes up or if all of a sudden they decide to move, they're not starting the interviewing process all over because I'm already their gal. I'm their realtor. And that's the way I like to leave a transaction. At the end, they've built enough trust in me that they know that, okay, she took great care of me. She answered all my questions. She knows what she's talking about. She's resourceful. She can put me in touch with the people that I need. And therefore, when I need a realtor, I obviously call Robin. So, that's what I have really worked hard to establish for the last 25 years. And I think when people say to me, like, what do you owe your success? I think, well, answer my phone. When it rings, I think about the basic stuff, but it's the relationships that I've built that have really made the difference. Yep. Sure.
All right, Robin. Sure. We're going to take a really quick break again. We're with Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group-RE Results on News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
We'll be right back with Robin Gwaltney and Andy Brownell on Rochester Real Estate. This is News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM. To Rochester Real Estate with Robin Gwaltney from Gwaltney Group-RE Results and Andy Brownell on Rochester's News Talk 1340, KROC AM and 96.9 FM.
I'm Andy Brownell, News Talk 1340, KROC AM 96.9 FM with Robin Gwaltney. Gwaltney Group-RE Results, our regular Saturday visit. Here, Robin, time is flying by. We only have a few minutes left. Do you have any listings you'd like to share?
I do. I have a few new ones I want to talk about, but I have one that, I'm not going to say it's not new. It's been on the market 24 days, but I cannot believe it hasn't sold. So if anybody out there is listening, if you are in that price range, this one is $680,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 2-story. It's at 1889 Shannon Oaks Boulevard Northeast. So if you're looking for something for your family, that's, the Century High School neighborhood, it's perfect for that. Beautiful backyard. This house has 3,200 square feet. It was built in 2008. However, it looks like it was built last year. They had everything redone. New siding, new windows, new roof. There's beautiful closet organization in every single closet. The house is immaculate, and it is just a gem, and I'm shocked. Sometimes I put a listing on and I think, oh, this one won't last the weekend. And that was one of those listings, and doggone it, it's lasted 3 weekends. Now, nothing to panic about. The average days on market in that price range is, I think, 37 right now. So we're still below average. But just one of those houses that I thought would have been gone.
It's one of those that sounds like you have to go see it in person if you haven't already.
Yeah, to really appreciate it. It's not just the same old. They've just done a beautiful job with it. Okay, the one at 110 6th Lane in Orinoco. Oh, never mind. We did get that one sold. We do have some of those brand new townhomes over on Piccadilly Lane. They are 1,800 square feet. They're brand new, 2 beds, 2 baths. They're $479.9. They're slab on grade. We still have one of the Sapala Court townhomes. That is a 3-bed, 3-bath, just over 2,000 square feet. It is $374.9. And then we have, yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. And then we have 4427 Archon Lane. Nope, scratch that. We sold that one yesterday. We do have 335 19th Street Southwest in Rochester. That's a 4-bed, 2-bath, just over 2,000 square feet. Been on the market 6 days. We have a brand new one, literally just listed yesterday, 817 2nd Avenue Northeast in Byron. That is a 4-bed, 2-bath split with just under 2,000 square feet. It was built in 1984. It's in very nice condition, and that one is at $314.9. So inventory is still low, but I do want you to know that each week we're seeing more and more houses come on the market. So as they're going off, we are getting more on. So I feel like we do have stuff out there to sell. As I mentioned earlier, when the rates start to drop, more people jump back in the market. So if you're thinking about buying, don't dilly-dally. Let's get to it. So if I can help you in any way, please feel free to call me on my cell phone. That number is 507-259-4926. And any kind of real estate needs you might have, helping you sell, helping you buy, helping you relocate out of the state, questions about whether or not you should remodel your kitchen, whatever it is, please do not hesitate to call me because I would absolutely love to help you.
Fantastic, Robin. Well, you have a great rest of the weekend and a great week.
All right. You do the same.
Yeah, thank you. We'll talk to you next Saturday morning. Robin Gwaltney, Gwaltney Group RE/MAX Results here at News Talk 1340 KROC AM and 96.